Our company name is Top Fire Rubber Sendihan Berhad. Top Fire Rubber Sendihan Berhad was established in 1993 in Malaysia. Our company produces EPM and Epdm Rubber for multipurpose application. Next, I will explain the role of our team members. First is Director of the company. He is in charge to supervise our work at our company so that our company can run smoothly. Next is Quality Control Engineer. He will conduct a quality control on our product, which is EPM and Epdm Rubber, so that we can detect a defect to prevent it to bad our reputation. Next, which is she in charge in the Polymer Engineer. She will in charge in rubber compounding to make the rubber formulation. And lastly is Research and Development Engineer. He will conduct a research to improvise our rubber. That's all from our role. Thank you.
In this part, I will talk about the chemical structure of EPDM and EPM rubber and some of the trade name of the EPDM and EPM rubber. So, this is the EPM rubber, and this show the EPM rubber chemical structure, which is formed from the copolymer of ethylene and propylene. Next, the Epdm rubber, which is formed from the polymer of ethylene, propylene, and non-conjugated diene with residual unsaturation in the side chain. And this is the Epdm rubber molecular structure. And then we'll go with the trade name of those two, which is the first is Neutral, the second is Polysa EDM, the third is Royalin, and the fourth is Epka, and the last is Epsilon.
For my part, I will present about the vulcanizate properties and elastomer classification. Vulcanizate made from EPM and Epdm rubbers has identical properties. Both have good tensile strength and have excellent resistance to heat, oxidation, ozone, chemical attack, and weather aging due to their stable, saturated polymer backbone structure. They have excellent electrical insulating properties as well. Other properties like compression set, high temperature performance, and low temperature flexibility properties are all strongly influenced by the formulation and polymer composition. Peroxide cured compound shows excellent heat aging properties and resistant to compression set up to 150 degrees Celsius. Compression set resistant and low temperature flexibility will degrade as the ethylene concentration in the polymer rise. Sulfur cured Epdm compound has high compression set and are less resistant to high temperatures. EPM and Epdm vulcanizates are resistant to non-petroleum based automotive brake fluid. Other than that, hot water and steam up to 200 degrees Celsius with peroxide cured vulcanizate in the absence of air. Next, EPM and Epdm vulcanizate are resistant to aqueous solutions of inorganic acid, alkalis, and salts, alcohol, glucose, and ketone. Example is acetone and MEK. Other than that, low molecular weight esters like ethyl acetate. Lastly is silicone oils and grease. Epdm and EPM resistant to the animals and vegetable oil, and fat is moderate. This substance can be tolerated in many static applications. EPM and Epdm vulcanizates are not resistant to: first, mineral oil-based fluid and grease; second, organic ester-based lubricant; third, synthetic hydrocarbon lubricant. Example is polyalpha-olefin; and lastly is hydrocarbon fuels such as kerosene, gasoline, and others. That's all from me. Thank you.
In this slide, I will discuss a stable typical compound formulation. So as you can see in this table, we have ingredient and pHR. Firstly, we have EPM or EPDM as a elastomer. The pHR is 100. Next, we have carbon black as a filler. It is used to enforce a physical properties. The pHR is 80. Next, we have processed oil that acts as a processing aid. It is used to facilitate the processing operation. The pHR is 50. Next, we have zinc oxide and stearic acid as an activator. It is used to activate the accelerator. The pHR for zinc oxide is 5 and stearic acid is 1. Next, we have TMTD and MBT as an accelerator. It is used to reduce the vulcanization time or cure time. The pHR for MTD is 1 and MBT is 0.5. Lastly, we have sulfur as a vulcanizing agent. It is used to cause a chemical reaction. The pHR is 0.5. Next, after we have looked at the typical compound formulation, we can determine the vulcanization system of the elastomer. So the system is semi-EV. It is because it has similar value of sulfur and accelerator. The accelerator is the MTD and MET, which is the value is 1.5. Ratio is same. Next, the equal amount of monosulfidic and polysulfidic cross-link. Next, the properties is balanced because between the strong thermal aging resistance and good fatigue life of performance. A vulcanization system with a promoter and sulfur in between CV and EB was developed to improve the anti-thermal aging and dynamic fatigue properties of vulcanizate in rubber manufacturing. The vulcanizate obtained contains the proper amount of polysulfide. Lastly, the bond has an adequate number of single and disulfide cross-linking bond, resulting in good dynamic performance as well as moderate heat and oxygen aging resistance. A semi-effective vulcanization system is the name given to such a vulcanization system, which is SEV. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, before we enter application of EPM or EPDM, let's recap. EPN, or known as ethylene propylene, and EPDM, known as ethylene propylene diene, is basically the same type of rubber, but what makes it different is EPM is lack of double bond and only can cross-link with organic peroxide and not sulfur or chemicals that release sulfur, while EPDM can cross-link with sulfur and accelerate because it has double lateral bond that make when it reacts with dye. Basically, due to its outstanding resistance to water and water-based system, EPDM is one of the most frequently used sealing materials in addition to black materials, while EPDM is available to support hygienic processes. So in application, we can see that due to this reason why EPDM is commonly used in electric cables due to its excellent electrical properties. And since EPDM rubber does not crack outdoors, it is widely used for seals in building and in the automotive industry. Some other applications are steam hose, high temperature resistant seals, and roll cover. EPDM gasket also are good at insulating electricity and are very resistant to wear, aging, UV light, wind, weather, and ozone. They also don't change color and won't stain surface that touch them. Wait a minute, you guys can scan this code so that you guys can have our slide. That's it. Thank you. Bye.